Hi, I want to show you how to do the state readiness test. As teachers, we have a couple of responsibilities. We have to set up a test session with the grade that we're in, and we do that through the Indiana portal. And so here is the Indiana portal URL, and it's indiana.portal.airast.org. And so when you have that on your computer and pulled up, you can come over here to the minimize and click on the URL, and it highlights it, and you can grab it and pull it over to your desktop, and then that makes a shortcut for you, and then you don't have to worry about typing that in anymore. And I'm going to go and just double click that. So when you're on the portal, you go into iLearn, you click on Educators, you click on the Released Items Repository, Test Administration. There's another one down here that doesn't have the Test Administration on it, and you don't want to do that one. You want to do the other one. And so you click on it. It's going to ask you to log in. And I have 2 accounts, so what you'll see here is a little different than what you will see. When you log in, it should go right to it. So I was on this a few minutes ago, so I'm going to come and do that. But what comes up is this screen. And this screen is what you set the test for the students that you want them to take. And so your choices are going to be the iLearn English, Math, Science, or Social Studies. You can do either of those 4, and that'll be fine. But what you want to do is whichever one you decide, you want to come up and you want to, I'm going to do English here, and I'm going to do 4th grade. So I click that. I don't know if you can see it, but I click that, and then I come down here to start the session. Now once I start the session, I have a teacher interface, and that's what this is called. It's an interface. And with this interface, it gives us a session number. It's kind of like the code that we did for iStep, but not quite. It's just, it gives the teacher a platform for her to see what the students are doing during the students' testing. So she needs to write, or he needs to write this number up on the board, this 45FF.1 up on the board. Of course, whatever testing number comes up for you will be different than what I have here. This is just the one that I am creating, so that's why that number is particular to me at this moment. I can create another one and it'll give me a different number. So it just kind of depends on what's going on at the time. All right, so now from here, the teacher doesn't do anything until the students do their part. So I have my Chromebook over here, and what the students need to have is their Chromebook without it being logged in. So you notice mine is here and I'm not logged in yet. But what will happen, the students will come down to the apps, and as you can see, they need to click on the Air Secure Test. Once they've clicked on the Air Secure Test, it takes them to, it blocks out everything, and it takes them to a site where they can log in. All right, they're not going to do anything with this part right here, but on the left-hand side, they are going to do something to the repository. Now, for secondary, for 7th and 8th graders, you need to make sure that this says Indiana and not Airways. If it says Airways, you need to go down here to these little faint squares, click on that, and then choose Indiana. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and close since we already are on Indiana. And hopefully it'll go there. Oops, might have logged me out. See? Secure. So again, I'm going to do the Air Portal, Air Secure Test Portal. It should come up. All right, again, they're not going to do anything with that part, but they're going to come over here and they're going to click on the Released Repository Items. Okay, when they do that, they'll have this sign in. What they want to do is not mess with the guest user, but come down to the guest session and click the toggle off. And then they'll come here, and this is where the teacher number, session number comes in effect. Okay, they're going to type in that 45FF and tab over and do the 1. So that's what I'm going to do here. 45FF. I'm going to tab. I'm going to hit the 1. Okay, once I do that, I click sign in. Then it's going to show this screen that says what grade level. And if you remember, we chose grade 4. So I'm going to click on grade 4. And there's the test that we set up. Okay? They click on the test. And then it's going to say that they're waiting for approval. So this is, the test won't start until you give the approval for them to start. So back here on the teacher's interface, you'll see that up here in the right hand corner it says I have 1 approval waiting. So I click on that. It says, is this the student that you want? There's my guess. And you can click all. Once all the students have logged in and they're ready to go, you click all. And it says, are you sure? And you say yes. Okay, so now this student over here has a couple things they need to go through. Okay, one thing they need to go through is the audio playback check. They need to click on the speaker, and when they do, they hear the sound. Okay, when they hear the sound and you click that button, the check mark comes on. And then they need to click continue. Okay, there's the help guide and the test settings, and we don't really want them messing with anything, but if you have a student who has text-to-speech, that would be something later on that they can go in and it will already be turned on, and you'll see what it's going to do. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it on in here for the moment, just because I want to show you where the students will find it when they log in. Okay, text-to-speech, it says none. It's not going to let me, so never mind. It's not going to let me do that, so I'm just going to hit OK. So anyway, the help guide and the test settings are here, but just have them go past that right to the begin test now. So when they do that, it'll load and their test is here. Just looks just like iStep, these 3 little bars right here, this is what, if they want something text-to-speech, they click on that bar, and then there's the little speaker that comes up, and they click it and they highlight whatever they want, or they highlight it and then they click that, and it'll be read to them. Okay, and they can go through the questions like that. It looks like there's a passage and 4 questions for them to answer. At any time, if they want to get out, they can hit this pause button right here. Okay, but there's some tools up here. There's a line masker, there's a global notes that they can open, there's a line reader where they can at least put it down there so they can track and follow, and then there's zoom in and zoom out. So when the students are taking that test, they come through, they answer the questions, and so I'm just gonna click some here randomly and they can use that. Okay, and so I'm gonna go over to question 2, and sorry, but I'm gonna do blah blah blah. I'm going to go over to question 3, and it says click on a group of words, so there I did, and I'm going to hit 4, and I'm going to hit one of these, and then I'm going to click on save. It won't save it, but it takes them to the next part. And they can mark stuff for review right here. There's a tutorial right there as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and let me see here. Try to get out of that real quick. But anyway, the students can get in and out of that. I'm gonna come hit the pause and say yes, I want pause, I want out. Okay, and then it takes them right back to there. If they're having problems getting in as well, have them just go back to that screen as well and log in. So the teacher sees that out of the 11 questions that were there, 4 of them were answered by the guest guessed, okay? So this is what the teacher will see, and this is what you'll see when you give the regular test. This refresh is important. This is a 30-minute practice test, not practice test, but practice of our system. So you want to make sure that you come up and click that refresh about every 10 minutes or so, just so that it keeps it live and it doesn't lock you out. Okay? If it does lock you out, just start a new session by assigning a new test and starting. I hope that helps. And when the students are done, you can go and you can click stop and click OK. And so when you do that, they're all finished. All right, I hope that helps, and we're going to have a great testing day. Remember, they only need to spend about 20 to 30 seconds on each test question, so they don't need to stress out about it. It's not graded. It's just for us to make sure that our system is going to work. Thank you. Bye.